Hello, Ian. How are you?
Hey, how are you? Hey, I'm fine.
I'm
How are you,
fine.
man?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks a lot. Well, Europe has performed in Brazil numerous times. What are some of your most vivid memories from those visits?
Well, I kind of have mixed memories of everything. It's because when we go to South America, it's always very hectic. The people in every country are very passionate, and everything is happening at once, sort of. So I can't really differentiate from what country I've been doing what. So it's a little bit of a blur. But my general memory is that it's always very friendly feeling among people, and as I said, very passionate feeling about the music, and they're really participating in the shows, going crazy, which is exactly what we want. So it's we're always looking forward to come to South America and tour in every country. So yeah, it's going to be fun to be back again.
Considering the diverse lineup at Monsters of Rock, how does Europe approach crafting a setlist that resonates with both longtime fans and the broader audience?
Well, it's we just got to play it by heart, sort of. We usually try and make a mixture of the most famous songs, and also pick some album tracks that we feel are like band favorites that we want to just to show people that doesn't have a clue about Europe's music uh some insight. But I think when you play as a special guest uh, with another band, for instance, it's important to play the most famous songs to the audience. To because I mean, one of the reasons why you're there is to warm up the people and make them get into the groove, sort of, and playing the most famous songs is a good trick to get people going, I think. So and also it's always a challenge, when you play as a support act, you're a little bit of an underdog. So it's always nice to you can give that extra push. It gives you um, I don't know. It's weird, but it's you get some extra energy to. You're gonna prove yourself, to their audience. So it's fun. It's gonna be great to be playing to. I mean, we played with Scorpions and on the same festival as Judas Priest and Opeth before, but I think this is going to be more of a you know tight knit package. So it's gonna be great.
Over the years, Europe sound has evolved and you've created some fantastic material since Start from the Dark. However, do you sense any resistance, particularly from older fans, towards Europe post Start from the Dark albums?
I would say both. Some of the uh, more sort of 80s lovers. They have some. I shouldn't say negative thoughts, but they miss the old Europe, as they say. Well, you should write more melodic songs or whatever. And um, but I think we always been. Our thoughts has always been like the most important thing for the band to move on is to not only move on and play the old songs, but to give ourselves the space to develop as musicians, as a band, with try different sounds out. And I think um, we've been on a musical journey. We've last couple of albums has been more towards the bluesier hard rock, and now the latest one, which actually came 8 years ago, Walk the Earth, is a lot inspired by our roots, like Rainbow and Zeppelin and Deep Purple. So it's more of that. And right now we're writing songs for a new album that is going to be recorded later this year. And I think that now we're maybe more back to the melodic Europe, sort of. So it's we're on the journey, swaying from different styles and angles, and I think it's important for us to be able to develop all the time. But I would say most of our fans are positive to our development.
Since your return with Star from the Dark, you haven't gone this long without releasing new material. Is there a specific reason for that?
Sorry, what was that? Can you?
Since your return with Star from the Dark, you haven't gone this long without releasing new material. Is there a specific reason for that?
Yeah, well, actually, I think we've been very busy touring every year. We get a lot of requests from festivals, especially around Europe, and so we haven't had time to really sit down and gather forces and try to become creative in that sense to write new music. But I know Joey and the guys have been writing stuff along the way without having writing for a specific album. But I agree with you. It's been a very long time, but now we're finishing the demos for the new album, and the songs are coming together really great. And I think, in my opinion, it's the strongest bunch of new songs that we have at this stage. So I'm excited to see what the next album is going to sound like. It's going to be out, probably we're going to go into the studio in October. So it's going to be out in a year, I guess.
Next year, the final countdown would turn 40. Are there plans to commemorate this significant milestone?
Yeah. We're going to be. It's going to be probably even more touring. Than this year, next year, because, as you said, of the 40th anniversary of the final countdown, together with a new album, and also we're going to have a documentary out of the band Europe. That's going to be hopefully on all the big streaming services. So it's going to be a lot of things, new things, and anniversary things happening around Europe next year. So we're building up to a climax. So this year is only a startup, sort of.
Looking back, what impacts do you believe the final countdown had on Europe's career?
Well, I think the final countdown is maybe not the only reason, but the strongest reason for us to be around still. It's amazing how one song, 4 minutes of music can, shape and change your life forever, sort of. And not only for us in the band, but to people around the world, that you meet, people that really have strong memories to the song, The Final Countdown, the first time they kissed their girlfriend or boyfriend, or did something, and it's been used in so many different like in elections and in sports events and anything you can think about. It's a song that has really it meant it. I would say it meant everything for the band Europe, and to give us the chance, the plateau to be doing what we're doing. It's without the final countdown, we wouldn't be at the place where we are right now. That's for sure.
What's it like for you to still perform that song today after countless shows?
I love playing the song every time. I mean, it's not like we're listening to it at home, while I'm doing the dishes. I'm not listening to the final countdown. But I mean, every time we play it live, it's really, it's an event, because, as I said, it meant so much to so many people. There's so many memories, that stirs up when we start playing the song, and so much happiness and so much, emotions. So it's every time it's just like a burst of happiness, I have to say. And the longer the time goes since it was released, the more amazed you get about the song and about the life force of the song, and how important it seemed to be. It's really amazing. So I love playing the song every time. It's just a gas. Yeah.
This year marks the 30th anniversary of Glenn Hughes' live album, Burning Japan Live, where you, John, and Mick were part of his backing band. Could you share some insights into the experience?
Oh, that was a great experience. We toured with Glenn Hughes in Japan, and we did some shows in Europe. Unfortunately, a bit too short, I would say. But I got into the band. I was asked to join the band just a couple of weeks before the Japanese tour was going on. So I only had a couple of weeks to rehearse all the songs and learn all those Deep Purple songs and Glenn Hughes songs and everything. But I mean, to me personally, it was a great honor to be playing with one of my teenage idols, you know, because I mean, I think the first Deep Purple album I bought was Burn, and it's been like one of, you know, a Bible to me ever since I bought it. And to be playing with Glenn Hughes in the 90s there, and to be playing the drum parts that Ian Pace, one of my big idols, played on Burn, and you know, all the songs that we played, Stormbringer and Lady Double Dealer and stuff. Great songs and great playing, and you know, to be able to be on stage with Glenn Hughes and to perform those songs, it was a great honor and a great experience. And I think it was very good for us as musicians to display ourselves to the world, you know, and to gain credibility as musicians, if you like. So yeah, that was a very nice tour.
Beyond Europe's albums, your resume includes records with Baltimore, Brazen Abbott, Shaboom, and many others. Among these projects, is there one you're particularly proud of, or one you wish your fans would listen with more attention?
Well, I think the Brazen Abbott albums that I recorded, I think we did 3 or 4 albums where I played the drums. I just listened to them a couple of weeks ago, and I hadn't heard them for maybe 10 years prior to that. And I was reminded how well it was produced and written and performed, you know. And so it made me feel, wow, did I really play that well, you know? And I didn't have any recollections of what I did, but listening to it, I felt like, wow, yeah, I felt proud of myself and of the stuff that Nikola Kotzev, the guitar player and the band leader, managed to do. We recorded all those albums in his home studio, so it sounds really professional. And I don't know how successful they were. I know they were released out in the world on different labels, but yeah, that's one of the band projects that I'm proud of.
After so many years in the music industry and countless shows around the world, what still motivates you to get on stage and play drums with Europe?
I think it's you know, to go on stage with Europe and play live is just like getting together with, you know, almost like, I guess, playing in a football team. You know, you're going out there and you just kick ass together. And when you go up on stage, the 5 of us becomes like one entity. You know, we gather our separate forces into one giant ball of power and rock and roll. So it's you know, it's something weird is happening when we step up on stage together. You know, it's like some invisible force just grab holds of our souls and put us together. So it's really hard to explain it, but it's always there, you know. And it's I'm amazed every time we go on stage, and we have great fun, you know. It's so it's, I don't know, it happens every time the 5 of us go on stage, it explodes, you know. It's really interesting.
Man, thank you so much for your time. See you in São Paulo in a couple of weeks.
All right, thank you very much.